Music defines us. Music can create incredible feelings of happiness, joy, sadness, despair, pain, empathy. But it's most enjoyed when it's paired together with something as incredible as video games. And to truly appreciate what video games has brought to us, I thought one of the best ways to do that is to examine probably my favorite aspect of video game creation, and that is the soundtrack. So ladies and gentlemen, I am Supurplayur301, and today I will be doing a top 10 countdown list of my top 10 favorite video game soundtracks. Now, a few rules with this list. I tried to steer away from multiple games for a franchise, but I might have broke that rule as soon as I started the list. Number 2 is these are my personal favorites. So I don't want anybody to think that, you know, this is like some type of like list I built upon rules, or like I only from this generation to that generation, or this console, that none of that matters. This is my personal favorite throughout, you know, my life. In this music, it can range from, you know, classically styled music, you see it in a lot of RPGs and like that, to, you know, music that just sets the mood for the game you're in. It finishes off the setting. It makes it feel immersive and incredible to be in this world. And I just wanted to share this with you guys because there may be some games in here you never played, or games you may have played but never really listened to the music as well. And so I hope that this not only shows you 10 games whose music you can now enjoy, but I hope this also shows you maybe a few new games that you've yet to try out and you can go enjoy it for one more reason. Okay, so without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, here we go with number 10. Mafia 3. Mafia 3 was a game created last year by the team at Hangar 13, and the soundtrack was composed by Jesse Harlan and Jim Bonney. Side note, I'm going to butcher a lot of names on this list, and I apologize if you just happen to be watching this, if you're a composer of one of these games. I mean, if you are, hi, thanks for checking this out. Anyway, back on topic. Mafia 3 is a game set in a fictional New Orleans area called New Bordeaux, and while the gameplay sometimes can be a little, you know, repetitive, it's a great game. And it's great not because of the fact that it's just so gratifying to stab someone in the neck, but it is story-wise, character development-wise, and sound-wise, the way the game looks graphically, it just puts you in this world and it feels so alive and so real. And not only because of the composed score, but also because of the licensed soundtrack of it, it just sets the mood so well. And so I do hope that if you were looking at the game and you were a little nervous because you heard about, oh, the reviews and everything was bad, oh no, what's up, I definitely suggest giving it a look regardless of those things, because if the gameplay might not be the reason you're playing it, the story wise, I think Hangar 13 is on Naughty Dog level when it comes to story and character creation and development. And so I'm going to play you a few snippets from the soundtrack. Let me know what you think. multiple Sonic games. Now, I'm kind of cheating with this one because I couldn't decide between my 3 favorite Sonic soundtracks, so I just put them all in this gathered up one. The first one I'm going to start with is the first original Sonic the Hedgehog game, produced by Masato Nakamura. It's a great soundtrack. I mean, it's a classic soundtrack. It's probably, when you think of video games, one of the first ones to come to your mind next to Mario and Zelda. I think Sonic's probably third, right? Green Hill Zone is iconic. The second game is Sonic Unleashed, which was produced by, name butchering coming, Tomoya Otani, Fumi Kumatani, and Kenichi Tokoi, Hideki Kobayashi, and Takedo Iguchi. Once again, real sorry, guys. And Sonic Unleashed, I think, is a great game. I didn't mind the Werehog sections, and I thought the soundtrack just elevated it from that point, and I think it was a great game. And then the third game, Sonic Lost World, which was produced by Tomoya Otani and Tahiko Iguchi, another great soundtrack. Whether or not you enjoy these games, there's no denying that the Sonic team, well, questionably, who knows what they may have gained or lost since the old days of Sonic, but what they've not lost is their ability to create amazing soundtracks for these games. And so I'm going to play snippets from each of these games, and you tell me what your favorite Sonic game is, or if you don't like any of these soundtracks. Hey, free country. The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Legend of the Wind Waker. The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker was a game made for the GameCube. It was composed by Kenta Nagata, Hajime Wakai, Toru Minigishi, and Koji Kondo. First of all, if I make a list of the top my favorite Zelda games of all time, Wind Waker is going to be the #1 game. It's a masterpiece, honestly. I think that, and Breath of the Wild, while it's climbing, it's coming after it. Wind Waker, it just has an aesthetic and a style unlike any other game in the franchise, and for me, that's enough right there for it, to be in the, pantheon of great games. But on top of that, it's such an incredible experience. It's such an incredible experience, setting wise, character wise, gameplay wise, and sound wise. And its soundtrack, I think, stands up there with all the best of the Zelda games. It's just one thing that Koji Kondo does very well is he matches sound with setting and substance. Okay, Wind Waker soundtrack wouldn't fit in any other Legend of Zelda game, just like Twilight Princess couldn't fit in another game, or Breath of the Wild couldn't fit in a different game. He does such a great job at tailoring each soundtrack to each game he works on. And so for me, that's more than enough reason for it to make number 8 on this list. So once again, a few samples, guys. Let me know what you think. Pokemon Emerald. Pokemon Emerald was a game released on the Game Boy Advance. It was composed by, here we go, Go Ishinose, Junichi Masuda, Morikazu Aoki, Hitomi Sato. Those are the 4 composers. First of all, Pokemon Emerald was the first Pokemon game I ever played. And so it not only holds that special place in my heart, but and its music, because it was one of the first I ever played, its music sticks with me more than any other game I played through. It's just, it's memorable. Some of my favorite Pokemon were in this game, and some of my favorite Pokemon memories were in this game, and so the music just matches up with that. Beating your first Elite Four, you don't forget that Elite Four sounds. You don't forget that. You remember those. And I think that's one of the reasons it's higher up, where it is on the list. It probably would be a little lower had it just been a Pokemon game, but because it was the first one, and all my first Pokemon experiences came from this game, it made it to this list. And by the way, Pokemon Coliseum would have been next, because it's one of my favorite soundtracks as well. But Pokemon Emerald just holds a closer place in my heart. Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep was originally released on the PlayStation Portable and has since been ported to the PS3 and the PS4. Soundtrack was done by the fabulous Yoko Shimomura. More on her later. Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, if nothing else, is probably the saddest game in the Kingdom Hearts franchise. But it was also, I think it's also between Kingdom Hearts, the original Kingdom Hearts, and Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, I think they have both influenced the Kingdom Hearts series the most. I think a lot of the mechanics created in both of those experiences have led to the evolution of mechanics in future games. And to top it off, Yoko Shimomura does an incredible job with the soundtrack she makes, and she did not fail with this one. This is incredible. This is a great soundtrack. It has songs that I'll remember, songs I won't forget, and it has songs that I think she's so good at bringing out emotions when it's time to bring out emotions. And I think that this was one of the few games in the Kingdom Hearts franchise that a lot of the spin-offs, as I call them spin-offs, you'll see kind of use songs from other games, but this is one of the few games that got a bunch of their own original tracks as opposed to just using tracks from older games. And just listen. I can't talk anymore about it. Just listen. Thanks for watching, everybody. Supurplayur301 here. This video was supposed to be out a while ago, but you know, life gets in the way. This is part 1. Part 2 is coming very soon, hopefully, if everything stays on schedule. And believe me, part 2 is crazier than part 1 was. I'm gonna be really honest with you about that. And I'm gonna say that I've been working on this list for a while, and I didn't include Breath of the Wild or Super Mario Odyssey, not because they aren't fantastic game soundtracks, but compared to what I've already had, I just didn't feel that I could. I just like what I had more. And this list was made, and I finalized the list before Odyssey came out. So there's that. But thank you so much for watching. If you're watching on Facebook, definitely like it, share it with your friends. If you're watching on YouTube, like the video, subscribe if you want to see more, because I got a lot more coming. I got a lot of stuff planned, and I can't wait for you guys to be a part of it. And definitely stay tuned, because I'm launching a new website. I'm doing it up. I'm gonna completely rebrand everything. It's gonna be awesome very, very soon, guys. So thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in if you are. And like I said, part 2 coming soon. Supurplayur301 signing out.